Today we hear from Bethel College's concert choir. This is the premier choir at Bethel College, and it represents the college through its many tours and engagements. Schedule includes campus performances, as we're going to hear today, concerts in local churches, and oftentimes multi-state tours as well. Every 4 years, the choir takes an international trip, and they'll be doing that this summer, late spring, I guess, and early summer. And the choir is led by Dr. William Aish. Dr. Aish this will be his last choir concert in this venue and convocation. He'll be retiring at the end of this year after 22 years of being the director of choirs here at Bethel College. He has conducted over 40 choirs during this time, and as conductor or guest conductor, and has conducted 35 major choral works here at Bethel College, conducted 43 choral works with orchestra and 13 musical theater works with orchestra. But today, I think it's pride of place for him to be able to work with the concert choir with all of us. So let's introduce Dr. Aish and the concert choir.
It's a pleasure being here in this space, in this historic space, where so many things have happened, at least in my academic career, but in eons of being centered here. Fog Allen was here. There were just a whole bunch of people who came to give presentations, and we're honored to be a part of that. Second, I'm honored to have the opportunity to give you a chance to hear what this talented group of individuals do on a regular basis every noon hour for 45 minutes. This is a result of their hard work. And I encourage you today to kind of divorce yourself from social media, from all of your electronic devices, and listen carefully to the text and the wedding of the text in the music, and to see whether or not, with your inquisitive minds, whether or not the composer has adequately represented the text that he was given to set. There will be people who will introduce each piece, and we'll turn that over to Amy Carlson, who's the first one.
So our first song we're going to be singing is titled Angel Band. This is one of my favorite songs that we sing as a concert choir because at the beginning it spotlights the women, and then it spotlights the men, and at the end the altos have melody, which I'm an alto, so I like that. So you can listen for that. But as far as text goes, it's about someone who's reaching the end of their earthly life before they begin their eternal life in heaven. And I find the text to be really comforting. We've all experienced loss. So hopefully none of us are near our time of going to heaven, but we can think about a loved one and how the text kind of brings in the visual image for me of angels surrounding them with music and then like taking them up to heaven. So we can listen for that.
piece, Entreat Me Not, is a piece based entirely on the book of Ruth from the Hebrew Bible. And if you don't know, the main character, Ruth, is pleading with her mother-in-law, Naomi, who plans to move back to Israel. And Naomi has told Ruth to stay in her home country instead of coming with her. And Ruth begs her not to tell her to do this. And she says, "Entreat me not to leave you or to turn back from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me from you." And these words are paired with a very beautiful set of melodies that intertwine and culminate at the end. And it's just a lovely piece. But I think it's also one of the most applicable and emotional to our lives right now. I know a lot of us are facing a situation where we're not sure what comes next, especially for seniors who are getting ready to graduate, and myself also. And I keep asking myself the question, how far is too far away from home or too far away from family? And I can very, very much imagine my own family saying, "Entreat me not to leave you." And so this is a very personal song for me. So whether or not you're familiar with this story, take a moment to think about those relationships in your life and to enjoy the beautiful words that are featured here.
This piece speaks of how we will all rise together in the morning, which reflects on the idea of leaving the troubles of the world behind to embark on a new and better day. During these unprecedented times due to COVID and the end of the year stress upon us, a beautiful morning is exactly what we need.
This next song we'll be singing is called I Will Lift My Eyes. And it's a song that for me has stuck with me since I heard the concert choir at some point growing up. Back then, it struck me because of its rising and falling sounds, its powerful chords, its quiet and delicate moments, and the emotion that the choir was able to express in it when they sang. When I sing it now, I'm able to understand why and how the choir was and is presently able to sing it with such emotion and presence. The text of this song, Psalm 121, was originally written for pilgrims traveling up the hill toward Jerusalem, and it explains the power and love of God. Such phrases that describe his love include the promises that he will not let the sun strike us by day or night, and they comfort us by reassuring his preserving of our souls. These reassuring words provide not only comfort during our bright moments, but during the darkest night of the soul as well. They remind us that our help comes from the Lord, which can be difficult when we think about all the chaos and uncertainty in our lives. I myself have found this song running through my head, especially during times of great stress and grief during my time in college. And college life has proven difficult and trying over these last 4 years. So this song has served as a reminder to me that during my greatest struggles, my help comes from the Lord alone.
From
will be singing for you today is called Unclouded Day. This song opens with a sweet melody with these words. Oh, they tell me of a home far beyond the sky. They tell me of a home far away. And they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. As a choir, we first sang this song during the 2019 and 2020 school year, and it became quickly one of my favorite songs. For me, I can have the feelings of hope and faith day to day, but I feel them the most when I'm singing. Singing this song gave me hope and faith of a better day to come when I was down on my luck. This song was also one of the last songs we recorded as a choir when we found out that we were being sent home and our yearly choir tour over spring break was canceled. We were all devastated. I think we can agree that it's been hard for us to believe in an unclouded day at some point of our lives, and over the past 2 years, probably the most difficult. As a choir, we have returned to this song every year since, but we have been singing it behind our singers' masks. They were built specially to stick out from our face so that when we breathe in, the mask doesn't come with it. Bill's wife, Esther, made them for the entire choir so that we could continue to sing during the pandemic. But as we've experienced even in our conversations with our masks on, the masks muffle our sound. This also occurs when we wear our singing masks. A couple of weeks ago, we were singing this song in rehearsal with our masks on, and partway through the song, Bill said that we could take them off. We were all taken aback by the fullness and vibrant sound that we had, so much so that we had to adjust our sound and relearn how to sing at the piano level without the masks on. In that moment, I believed again in the unclouded day. Singing this particular song while hearing the richness and fullness of my colleagues' voices once again brought tears to my eyes. While you listen to this song today, I want you to think about what in your life gives you hope, and I hope that we can share these feelings we've encountered within this song with you today.
Tell me of a home where the storm
Do I have any more to say? Oh, I have plenty of things to say. Whether it's appropriate here or not is a question. I understand that there are some questions that you might have, but I also might explain a couple of things. So a number of you have seen these little boxes. These are important for us. The intent really is to get all the singers up at a certain level so that they all can use their voices efficiently. And what I tried to do with this particular choir, you also see, and if you were attentive, you saw the first piece was done in sections. So I had sopranos in the front, tenors in the back. I should not have told you that. I should have asked you whether or not you determined where they were. Altos in the front, basses in the back. But this choir wants to sing mixed. They want to hear the other parts around them, which means that they have to be absolutely confident in their own parts. Then the intent is to place these singers' voices, and every voice is different in timbre, quality, and they all have different musical skills. Some of them are really great with rhythm, others are really great with pitch. Some of them have read music exceptionally well. Others in this choir don't read. They hear, they have really great ears. So the idea is to put all of the gifts in this choir together in such a way that they all can support each other. That's the intent. Okay, so I did want to explain these. Now, I'm open to your questions. The question was, what is my favorite memory of choir? Trying to dig out 22 years of memory can be difficult. Here's what I do know. I've been privileged to teach at Bethel College. I taught at a couple of other universities, and when I came here, I felt like I was coming home. And every day when I walk to this campus, I feel like this is my home. And I've engaged many of you in classes. I've engaged these people every day. We have had our frustrations. They've had to deal with my idiosyncratic material that I bring with me to rehearsal. But the thing that keeps me thinking is that the journeys that I've had, the intersections that I had with people on this particular campus, the privilege of walking with many of these people for 4 years is an incredible privilege. And to watch their growth and to watch how they have bloomed into really highly competent and intellectuals. I was just at the Eureka Symposium. 3 absolutely outstanding presentations. I mean, we're scholars here. We're students. We're focused on being part of a community. And I don't know, I think that's my best memory of choir are the communities that I've been involved with. What's the best memory of this group in particular? Well, I think generally they look pretty good. No, I think. The best memory is their incredible flexibility. And the fact of the matter is, I never had any pushback on the use of the masks in this choir rehearsal, in my choir rehearsals, even though they hated them, and I did too. They seem to understand the value of being behind a mask and recognizing the fact that we are all, especially in the choral area, we're called super spreaders. Because when we sing, right, you can see that there's engagement. So the virus can get out a ways away from us and infect people around us. And they never really pushed back at that. Did they want them off? Absolutely. Did they hate putting them on and taking them off, putting them in the bags? Did I hate trucking them home every night, putting them in the washer, putting them in the dryer, untangling them, putting them back in the bags, and bringing the whole thing back every day? Absolutely. But there's a whole big part of me that felt during the beginning, especially of COVID, we kept each other safe as a result of that. And for that discipline, I'm kind of eternally grateful. Because I'm in the highest risk group, right? You are not, but I am. So that's perhaps my best memory. Is that okay answer? I don't know if I... Oh,
Yes.
How long did you prepare for these particular songs?
How long?
When I do a European tour, I take the best of the last 4 years. So we go from, just because, and here's the reason why, until interterm disappeared, that time in January that we had way back, well now 2 years ago, the choir also always used to tour then, which meant that we only had 3 months to prepare. So I grabbed those pieces that I thought were really fine pieces and added just a couple of new ones to keep it fresh for those singers who are new to the choir. I don't know. The answer would be, let's check it out. How many have sung Angel Band before? How many have sung Entreat Me before? How many have sung Entreat Me 2 years? 3 years? How many have sung Beautiful Morning before? How many have sung I Will Lift My Eyes? Unclouded Day? 2 years? 3 years? It gives you, maybe it gives you a clearer sense, yeah. And I choose that literature based on the energy that I think I see in them. I also know that after working with a piece of music that has powerful text, I see in the eyes of my singers that they are often moved by that text. We did a piece a couple of years ago called Stars. And in that piece we had some tuned water glasses. And you know how water glasses are when you circle them to make a specific sound. And it really recreated the seeing of stars on a crystal clear night. And I had a singer in that chorus who had on her arm a tattoo of Ursa Major, the Big Dipper. And I asked her one time, why the tattoo? I like to ask those questions because inevitably the people who have decorated themselves have decorated them in memory of other people. And she said, oh yeah, that's my grandfather always took me out to view stars. And when she sang that piece, at a certain point in the piece, she'd close her eyes, and it was awesome. Because just for a little bit, I felt she was with her grandfather. That interconnectedness that text and music can actually provide for. Yeah, I don't know, that's an illustration.
One more.
Oh, there are all kinds of pieces. I'd like to do Bach's Jesu meine Freude, which is a great, great piece. I'd like to do Lux Aeterna, which is a liggity piece that they would love to do, but it's incredibly complex. I am content with what I have done, with the pieces that have come across my stand. And I like to have the flexibility to be able to choose them. I like the fact that we are a sacred institution. We are an institution founded on biblical truths, right, perhaps? And that I can focus on sacred music as opposed to secular music. So, yeah, I want to thank you. You didn't have to be here today, nor did you have to sit as quietly as what you did. It's pretty amazing, at least to me, that you were so attentive. Especially, I could sense it, right? When it got quiet and there was just sound. There was no sound in the auditorium, and I knew that there were 200 people sitting behind me. I just want to thank you for that. You were attentive, engaged, you were listening carefully. And I want to thank my young friends behind me for their great contribution, their energy, their discipline, their willingness to just engage. So thank you. It's really been a great pleasure to do this convocation.